clean up in aisle 5. You're gonna need tear gas, pepper spray, and assault gear just to listen to this show.
Sasquatch, the moon landing, UFOs, 9/11, flat earth, JFK. All of these things have one thing in common: unanswered questions. So let's get to the bottom of that.
Now here's something completely random.
Animals in action, animals in action.
Random.
We using that in the intro?
Thank you and good night.
Dice Man Enterprises exclusively presents a talk show that will get to the bottom of things once and for all. And now here's your host for Let's Get to the Bottom of That, a bunch of weirdos on a mic.
Dude, I just right before we got on, I played this TikTok, and it was a cruise ship dumping a whole bunch of their septic tank into the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
One, why? Why can't they just siphon it out when they're at shore into the ground and fertilizes the ground?
That's a great question. Well, the Navy does that, too.
Because human waste is toxic.
Yeah, so why are we putting it in the ocean?
Well, I think it helps the...
Not with my dumps. Mine are the worst. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But anyway,
the Navy does the same thing. They'll just they'll dump just garbage out the back.
Yeah,
just
like
tons of
trash
garbage.
cans.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
I love it,
I don't know why they do it,
dude. Orcas.
I guess they got to put something out there.
I've been on this thing, like ever since I got back from San Diego.
Oh yeah,
with orcas. I hate those animals,
dude. They'll kill you in a heartbeat. Dude.
I hate them. They're mean.
Will they?
Yes.
I don't like their big white eyes.
Look, they always look. I don't know if you noticed this, but they'll transfer them based on how, like, oh, they killed a couple of people. Let's send them up to San Diego,
dude. And I know their white eyes aren't white. It's just that white patch over there.
It's a white patch.
Yeah. But anyway, for the longest time, I thought that was their eyes. I was like, why are their eyes white and so big?
Yeah, I'm so nervous right now,
dude.
Have you seen the documentary on those?
Yes.
It's hard. Like the one that she took.
Black whale.
They grabbed her hair to her all the way to the bottom. Wouldn't let her.
You talking about Free Willy?
No, Blackfish.
Yeah, Free Willy did that too.
Yeah,
that's why they wanted to free him because his name was Willie.
Oh, I thought it was Michael Jackson.
I did too, but then it wasn't.
No.
Welcome into the program, everybody.
Orcas, I hate them.
Orcas.
Let's see. Welcome
they don't really
Curtis.
jump over walls, do they?
No, but their fins.
I don't think they do.
When I was at SeaWorld, their fins were sliding on the. They were so sad because you know how the fin like.
That means they're sad.
Oh yeah.
No, that means they're gay. And they were sliding over the tank, leaving a slug trail.
A slug trail.
Yeah.
A slug of gay trail.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry.
Anyway. We love our gay brothers and sisters out there. So
we do. But it's still funny.
Welcome into the program, everybody. That was a great intro, by the way. Thank you for that, Jason. This is
that's all I bring to this podcast.
I appreciate that. If that's all it is, then that's what it's going to be. It's what it's going to be if that's all it is. Welcome. It's been a while since you look. I know everybody knows we record on a Saturday, so in between those times, it's just I get antsy to get back on the mic and talk to the folks.
Man,
you know what I'm talking about?
We haven't been able to do our live update for the last couple
of weeks.
Yeah,
sorry about that, guys. The weekly update, the live stream.
That's been a lot of fun when we have done it.
It has been. I mean, a lot of people joined us. Shrouded Realities. The whole crew got on with us. Fun. That was nice. Yeah. Hannah, the gospel expert.
Hannah Banana.
The Bible, the biblical worldview expert.
Is she?
Yeah, you don't hear her riffing on? She's like, she'll put you quickly in your place. Hey, by the way, I was going to ask you, because I know you mentioned it here on the show. that you went to Bible college.
I did.
And what was that? Which college was that? Is that
well,
okay to throw out?
Yeah, I went to Ozark Christian College for about a year in 2004.
I'm looking.
And then, I also went to Central Christian College of the Bible in Moberly, Missouri.
Okay, cool.
So the Ozarks, that's the campus that it's a free tuition, but you got to work for the campus? Is that
No, that's Hard Work U.
Okay.
That's different. Ozark Christian College, it's in Joplin.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm thinking the wrong one.
Definitely not free, but Central Christian College, I don't know if they still are, but they used to be tuition free. Basically, you'd have to write letters to donors and stuff like that for thanking them for their support and all that kind of stuff. And,
cool.
But you still had to pay for room and board. That kind of
That's
stuff.
awesome. Oh, you just posted something in the chat. Okay. Saw that notification. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell everybody, thanks for tuning in. As you probably know, when you click the play button, that this is Let's Get to the Bottom of That podcast, where each week we try to uncover things that are not so. The official story has been covered up by
we
other
tried
people.
to do that.
We try to do that.
I mean, this is a theory podcast.
Well,
so all the stuff
I know
that we
it is,
say
but
is...
there's a lot of stuff we do say that's true.
Yeah, sure. I
I
mean,
think everything we say is true.
I think so. Yeah.
What is truth?
Why, when you say you're going to wear a hat every week,
What are
different?
things?
It's
That's
truth.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
there's
by the
no
way,
conspiracy about
Switch it over to my hat. This is
what if it's a psyop?
it says "We Rock Together." This is not a psyop. It's
Right.
Just a cool dude, Nick Harrison on TikTok. Check him out.
Shout him out.
I wanted to wear his hat because he just gets on there and he's got all these videos that are like, hey, when your song's turning 30 or something. And he like goes through a whole bunch of songs that are turning 30 this year. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And it's all just this fun loving channel. I love it. So
Yeah, when your song's turning 30. Yeah, my stuff's already 40 and 50.
right.
Yeah.
Your songs?
Yeah. Like a lot of my stuff is the 70s, dude. Late 70s. Rush,
Wow.
Van Halen.
Rush.
Come on, guys.
So also I was thinking, I've been asking you guys to send me hats and
Have we got any?
I've been thinking I've only got the 2.
Okay.
But I've been wanting to, you don't get anything in this world without giving first. So I was
True.
thinking about, if you guys get on our Discord and let us know, what would you think about an embroidered, let's get to the bottom of that hat?
Oh.
I'm talking about black
Embroidered.
with our logo on here. I think I'm about to get them printed up.
Dude,
So let me know if you want one.
yeah. I sent out merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
So
they
Guapo.
were very appreciative.
Guapo.
Appreciative?
Yeah.
Appreciative, thank you.
3 people. I got to do... I've been
Did we
meaning
get
to...
Hal and Harry?
No, my next
Alan
one's
Harry,
up is
dude.
Buck, because I've been
Okay.
telling Buck. But Guapo...
Buck said he was going to be in
I
Centralia,
don't know if
Centralia,
I don't know.
Pennsylvania. That's an abandoned town.
Is it?
Yeah. We got to do a show on that, by the way.
Okay.
And I think he could be on the ground because he said he lives close to it. So we could do some live feed while he's on the ground there.
Yeah. What were you saying?
What do you think? So, I interrupted
forgot.
you.
No,
with
it's
my
fine.
egotistical self.
With your testicle self.
He egotistically interrupted
Yeah.
you. It's all
No,
right.
I forgot.
Oh,
what I
that's
was
the
saying.
that's the other I forgot to say is because I'm always trying to self-sell
Mm-hmm.
when I have nothing to sell.
Is that what that guy said?
Yeah,
My goodness.
but that's why I'm interrupting because I'm trying to be
I
funny.
didn't understand the whole
I'm
comment.
trying to be funny and I'm trying to sell myself, but I got nothing to sell.
Speaking of funny, I went to go watch the new Minecraft movie last night.
Oh, really?
It
Tell
was
me about that.
fantastic.
Are you
Probably one of the
serious?
best movies I've seen
See,
in
I've
a
kind of
long
been
time.
iffy about it, but
Hilarious. Hilarious.
so
That's funny.
the actors don't kind of break up the hey, that's messed up. It shouldn't be like that. Is it okay?
Are you looking?
I'm looking for lore.
Oh God, Byron! It's a movie.
Listen, I'm looking for lore.
It's a
So
movie
Jack
about
Black
a
is playing-
video game.
Jack Black is playing Steve.
Oh my God!
And I wanted
hate
to make
this.
sure that as a human, it made sense in the movie because Steve is a Minecraft character. Did it
Byron's
make
all
sense
about
on
the
screen?
source
That's all I'm
text.
asking, dude. You ain't got to open your mouth like that, bro.
You do this
Just
every time.
just tell me, did it make sense?
Did it match up with lore?
Did it make sense? Jack Black being on screen playing a character that was in the game.
Jack Black
Did it?
acting makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Jack Black.
That's all I wanted to
But
know.
whether it follows the lore of Minecraft,
No.
that's
I'm really. I don't care about the lore because I don't think there is lore.
there is lore.
Other than I've created things with things that I can pull out of the ground and I can craft things.
Speaking of Jack Black acting, there's a ton of actors that used to be like really, really crass, really like, you know, they're comedians, but they, you know, F this, F that, like very vulgar, very like, you know, dark kind of jokes.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's one of them.
Okay.
Jack Black, Eddie Murphy.
Right.
You know, and then they end up doing like family style movies, and then they get pigeonholed into, like, you think about anything Adam Sandler's in now, it's all these Transylvania and family style movies, those kind of things. Jack Black's starting to get that way too.
Well, I think when they grow,
Eddie Murphy,
they start off young, and that, you know, and then they start developing to being, you know, grandfather or father.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh man, my grandchild would kind of like me to make, you know, this animation movie about, you know, Halloween characters or whatever. That's what I think. But I don't,
Dad, can you make a Minecraft movie?
dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyways,
I just think it's funny that you know, there's these, you know, you hear some of Jack Black's earlier stuff, you're like, oh God, okay, and then now he's making Minecraft movie.
It was good. You guys
He's making
watch it.
okay. I'll check it out. The other thing was
I like Jumanji.
the other thing was bugging me was Jason Momoa's bangs. Like, why did you do those bangs?
Can we
Please
pull up a picture of that?
He's hilarious in the movie. Hilarious.
He is kind of crazy.
Oh, he's funny.
Oh, sorry, I didn't kick you.
You didn't kick me. Oh, today we're talking about JFK too. By the way, if somebody was wondering, what are they talking about today?
What are they doing?
The reason it's JFK too because we do have an episode in our early archives. Years ago, we did a JFK, probably our third or fourth show. The late great Mike was with us.
Late great Mike. God rest his soul.
And God rest his soul. The reason I wanted to pull it up again is because we just had a release of documents for the JFK files.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to revisit it.
The J files.
The J files. Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I don't know if I told you this though, but after you did that 23andMe,
yeah,
I did the same thing and came back. There was a little bit of a Polish in there, and I was like, wow, okay. I felt kind of bad.
Why?
Well, because, you know, of all the Polish jokes, they always get.
Do you know any?
The Polak jokes, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know
when I was a kid, it was just always riffing on the Polacks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't like it because now I found out I am one a little bit.
Really?
You know, so I was like,
do you know any good Polak jokes?
I don't know, but
I don't know if you're being serious.
I am. So
I didn't know.
So since that little bit, I went into the store and I was like, hey, I'd like to order a Polish sausage. And the guy said, you must be Polish. And I was like, how dare you? Are you kidding me? You mean if I came in here and ordered a German brat, a German Frankfurter, you'd think I'm German?
Would you like a Frankfurter?
Or if I ordered a schnitzel, would you think I was from Switzerland?
Yeah, a schnitzel.
You know?
So you made this
German
all
too.
up. He made this
I'm
all
not.
up.
And I was like, do you think
Dude,
if I
somebody
came
said
in
that
here?
to you?
Yes.
When?
And then I said, what makes you think that I
It's ridiculous.
am Polish because I ordered a Polish sausage? And the guy said, well, first of all, you're in a hardware store.
I knew it. I knew it. Oh, yeah.
Did you like that? That was a bit set up from the late, great Norm MacDonald. I have to give him credit right there.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I felt like
great.
people, you guys were in there with me, though.
I knew you were going somewhere.
You felt the bit come?
I did. I thought you were going to be like, what do you mean, you people?
What? Are you live streaming?
No. Trying to figure out.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I appreciate everybody listening to the show. By the way, I always like to talk about stats on the show. We read comments all the time. We save comments for the weekly update, so we won't get into that today. But I will say this, the PSYOP episode, incredible numbers.
Yeah,
It's over
outperforming.
1,500 right now.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
Wow.
And I don't even remember.
I had no
it.
idea.
Yeah.
I thought I was in a PSYOP when I recorded it.
How do you remember this?
But anyway, I appreciate
That was a
everybody.
hologram.
I appreciate, yeah, you were. I could tell because the mic kept going through your neck.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody listening to that. And I guess it is topic driven, or people searching for that. I don't know. Or did it come across
I
their
think people
feed?
are
They were like,
searching
you know
for
what? I'm going to listen to this one, and they pass other ones up,
No, I think
like
people are
sirens.
Well, this JFK one, hopefully, like, these are hot topics, too. Like,
Okay.
not like the store at the mall, but dude, that was my jam.
That's a
back in the
good
day,
one.
man. Yeah.
Set that bet up.
Yeah. These are hot topics. I think people are gonna.
Well,
into
I think
JFK
so.
stuff.
Well, do you guys have any information on the new files that were released? Do you guys have
Nothing
you guys
new.
ran across anything?
Nothing new that we didn't hash out at the in our first episode.
Yeah.
So we're basically done with this episode
Well, we're done.
because
Well,
there's nothing new.
Thanks for coming. guys.
thanks for coming. We're 15 in. We'll go ahead and cut the show off. It'll be a good one.
Did you
right?
come across anything?
I
new?
came across a new angle that I never knew before.
Really?
Maybe you have.
Okay, the Saudis. I like it. You're cooking. Keep it going.
I did see a video,
You did. Hold on.
and I don't want to trample on where you're going, but it was it Eisenhower? Yeah, Eisenhower. I think wasn't he the director of the CIA?
No, that was Hoover.
Hoover.
Yeah. Eisenhower was the president before JFK.
Okay. I can't remember who it was. Then they were like, "Oh, he was all about himself," and this it might have been a. Hold on just a second.
You got to sneak. Wait. Oh, got it.
Woo.
I'm mute. Did you see that?
Did you mute
That's
me?
professional right
That's
there.
good, dude.
All right, good job.
You can't. You just can't hire this kind of people. This kind of anyway.
The talent.
Okay, good.
He's
No,
sell-
don't do it. Don't do
He's
it.
selling. Anyway.
Yeah.
I forget what I was saying. Forget about it.
Oh.
Let's go to your stuff.
No, what I was going to ask, because the JFK files are out there they have new information, that there's so much. Normal people like you and I, we don't have time to go through all those documents and uncover stuff. I'm going to leave that to the professionals that have, real day jobs out there that sift through information.
You mean warlocks in their basement?
Yes.
Just going-
And PSYOP creators.
Yes. I don't have. So if they come up with new information from the files that have been released, of course we'll cover that. But as of today, nothing really new has come out except.
Why don't you just grab the PDF and put it into ChatGPT?
Oh, we could
ask
do
her
that.
to ask her to disseminate all the information.
Oh, good one. I think they're probably doing that.
Oh, okay.
I think they have to, because there's so much. I mean, who's going to read all that?
warlocks in the basement.
We'll get to the bottom
I
of this
think
right now.
here's another thing.
Good plug.
The Epstein files were released. That was a joke. They released the JFK files. I don't know if it's a joke yet because nobody's really come out and said, "Oh my gosh, there's a smoking gun."
Nobody cares.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if all this is just smoke and mirrors.
Or a sign.
I'm still kind of hesitant to go, look, I know Trump did the one thing I wanted was the J6ers released. That was perfect. And then he's like, the border stuff. I've cranked down on the border. Perfect. You said you were going to do that. You did it. All these files and stuff, I don't know if this is just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. I don't
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and here's the other thing I want, and I'm waiting on it. Hopefully within 4 years, I want a pardon for Snowden.
know.
Yeah. I want a pardon for Snowden too.
Absolutely.
He's a national hero.
A hero all the way.
A hero. However,
Okay.
it's when AT&T and well, I guess it was Bell
Yeah, Ma Bell. They broke them up.
they were actually, when their buildings were built, they had an NSA, essentially a tap into all the data stream going through their
Oh.
stuff. And
Really?
yeah,
That's
It's
interesting.
fact.
That's interesting that they broke up Bell and AT&T, but now,
Uh,
like in the last 5 years, they let T-Mobile merge with Sprint and consume like Mint Mobile now, or T-Mobile now owns Mint Mobile. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So there,
Yeah.
what's up with this?
It's like everything.
Disney eating up
Yeah, everything.
ABC, ESPN, all
Hulu.
this.
And it's
Hulu.
all owned by BlackRock anyway. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. When they did break them up, I was like, the Bells, they broke them up because they had a monopoly. But now it's like AT&T still back on the top.
no,
What
they
do you
they have trade agreements anyway because it's like the top whatever. Sprint wasn't even really a player on the level that AT&T and T-Mobile were. It's big around Kansas City because their world headquarters were here. So their network was never anywhere near AT&T's and stuff like that. But
No.
I work in a lot of AT&T buildings, and there's like one or two buildings downtown that if the buildings go down for any reason, the entire country is out basically. Like,
good to know.
It's
Oh, wow.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's anyway. Maybe I should have said that on.
Well, and well, yeah. Now, yeah. And the other thing is,
Here are the addresses.
when the AT&T that you're referring to is mobile service. Back then, it was all landline stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No, what
Is it?
so?
No, just landmines.
But you see all those transmitters or whatever, the cell towers and stuff like that.
Yeah, the 5G killers.
Those still have to run through something. I mean, those are wired to something,
Yeah.
and they have to go through
A bunch of
but
wires.
have you ever seen those backrooms videos? Like,
No.
okay, get on TikTok, look up backrooms. It's these guys
Backrooms?
backrooms.
Sounds like I'm gonna go
What?
somewhere where I don't want to go.
No, it's
I'm gonna be in a
it's
P
just
Diddy party next.
No, it's just this creepy. You ever been in an abandoned office building?
Wait a minute. I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's this stuff, and so
But it's not real though, right? It's AI generated.
a lot. Yeah, pretty much.
And then all of a sudden, there's this creepy thing that starts. You hear
following them.
it.
Yeah, stuff
wow.
like that,
It
yeah.
is. It is scary, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like if I was really in this
But
place.
going into these AT&T buildings,
Is it
because
like that?
There's like nobody. It'll even still say Bell Telecom or whatever on the walls and stuff. And you're walking through. It's like back in the heyday of where like phones were big and they
The
had like
90s.
switchboard operators and stuff like that.
right.
They like I'm in these buildings and I'm like, man, this is creepy. There's like nobody.
Dude,
in
get
here.
us some video, bro.
Okay, I'll get it. I'll get you some video.
Yeah.
next time
We'll
I'm
put
in
it
there.
up on the Discorders.
Yeah.
All right, on November 22nd.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to do it?
No,
Okay.
no. 1963. JFK was assassinated. I think everybody knows this.
We went over.
Wow.
All right.
So I don't know if okay. So I'm gonna go through this, and you tell me if you've heard of this this angle that I'm gonna go over.
This is a new angle.
that I've
This
never
is
heard.
new information right now
for me.
for the world.
I don't know.
We'll see.
When I tell it, you tell me if you
Okay.
knew about this
We're
stuff.
here. You're doing this.
Byron,
This is a
because-
I
journey.
think you need to be a little bit more egotistical.
Yeah, I'm
taking
sorry.
us on a journey.
You
Take
were
us.
too humble.
Before Kennedy was elected president,
Mm-hmm.
Eisenhower was president.
It's true.
Okay. Now, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what Curtis does. He does this background,
The context.
the context. What happened? What was going on up to Kennedy's assassination?
Okay, that's cool. I love it.
So, right before he left, he warned the American public that a shadow government was building in the background. I think we would describe that today as the deep state.
The deep state.
Yeah.
And Eisenhower, he saw this and he knew it. So he was warning the American people about it. And he referred to it as something that we know today, which I didn't know it was this far back in Eisenhower's day, called the military industrial complex.
Yes, I'm very aware of this
Okay.
term.
So what I'm going to do, if you don't believe me, I'm going to play a quick clip from Eisenhower that he's going to explain. He's going to give us a warning right before he left office.
We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
All right, that's President Eisenhower before he left office.
That was powerful. I'm ready to go to war. Let's go. Let's do it.
That's
Let's take him down.
anti-war, my friend.
No, I mean, with the industrial complex.
Okay, gotcha. So
military-industrial complex. I mean, it's a thing because
World War II,
World War One.
It really started
right after World War II. Sure.
Yeah, because that's when the United States really got mobilized for it. I mean, I'm sure there was some of it in World War One,
but our presence wasn't as big.
Yeah.
World War One as it was in World War II. Yeah, I would agree, and I think that it's never going to go away, and it's just going to get more powerful because it's too lucrative, and there's too much.
Lucrative.
Yeah, it's too much. There's too much power. So I mean, we're just gonna have to like deal
unless
with it. There's an EMP.
No, unless here's the thing with grassroots things, it's always hard to get started. But the United States was founded by a grassroots campaign. You know,
that is very true.
And
a rebellion,
and it was against a large world power. So here's the thing:
it was against a tyrannical government. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm listening. I got a rebuttal for you.
Okay,
but
let's go.
Go.
That's fine. You could say that they have all the power and all the tech and all this other stuff, but the sheer numbers of people that if somebody acted out against the American people that would come to bear against that enemy, man, I mean, like one state has the largest, like Wisconsin, I think has the largest. If those people were to militarize, they would have the largest military in the world.
Yeah, like boots on the ground.
Well, look at J6.
Sure, I mean, I would agree with that. I think that the boots on the ground, if it's just combat boots on the ground, I would agree that it would. I mean, numbers would overwhelm the military. Yes, but I mean, that's not the reality. The reality of it is they have F-22 Raptors soaring in the sky with an eagle on its back, going and dropping
that cost like $1 billion to make.
Absolutely, and then all you need is a few high sophisticated stealth jets to just drop some nukes, bro, and it's over.
They're gonna nuke their own people. They lose the war. Then a country nuking its own people. Are you kidding me?
Hey, a house divided. It's happened before in the same kind of context.
Divided we stand.
So that's why I think
that's not how that saying goes.
It's on my poster.
Oh, divided we stand. Oh yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about, though.
It's
like if I really don't agree with everything, but we're divided and somebody has to stand up. I will say this to both your points.
Yes, sir.
Isn't there a real thing of a military, what's the word I'm looking for? Contractor or a military defense company that actually has recruited ex-SEALs, ex-Green Berets, and they have this huge armament. And like they are caged off, and like government can't come onto my property, and they're very, they can stand with the law. Like FBI would maybe try. Oh, you got arms, and everything's legal, but they could actually rise up and have a nice force against what you're talking about, Jason.
Probably, but why would they?
Are there companies out there that have accumulated army type?
Sure.
I think there's individual
weapons,
people,
helicopters,
Sure.
huh?
Yeah.
I think there's individual people.
Absolutely, that's true.
Well, I'm talking about companies that have like a huge amount of people that were ex-Green Berets, and they are like patriots, and they're like, hey,
tanks.
You come up to me, we're gonna bring it to your front door.
Cool, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's
talk to me about that.
There's just too much. There's too many bases around the world. That we have, too many pieces in the United States.
That's true.
There's too much. It's just too much.
So this thing Eisenhower's talking about, it has grown to what we see
to
today.
where it's out of control.
What he's talking about? This is what he warned us about, and we see the fruit. We see the fruits of it.
But I think what Curtis was saying, if it was combat hand to hand, absolutely, there's no shot for them.
Oh, gotcha.
There's no shot.
You're talking about one state having 600,000 registered hunters, and those are people who are going and collecting food from the wild. You don't think, like, I know so many gun people that are like that. Their arsenals are just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, where's
the bunkers?
No, I agree. But here's I'll send you after this episode. I'm gonna send you a trailer, show you a trailer of this documentary I saw on Netflix about drone, and we're going to drone warfare now because
That's scary.
because drone swarms will just annihilate
Drone
everybody.
swarms will, but here's
The
the
birds.
thing. Have you ever seen Predator?
Yes.
All you got to do is cover yourself in mud, and then they can't see
You're
you.
done. Yeah.
That's it. That's
That's it.
You just cover yourself in
Oh,
mud.
you guys are serious?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, not
Yeah.
really.
That's all you got to
Byron
do.
looks serious.
That's all you got to do.
Byron looked like, he's on it. He's got it.
He's not, that's
Look,
yeah. That's why drones will not win.
Oh my
1980s,
God,
man.
this dude.
Thank you,
They
Arnold.
figured it out in the 80s. Thank you, Arnie. And he's got a
Dylan,
tank.
Dylan,
He's got a
you
tank.
son
Listen,
of a bitch.
Listen. Yeah. I'm not going to do any more quotes. I've gotten in trouble in the past for that movie. Anyway,
You are one
let me ask
ugly
you
mother.
this. Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
And this is both your points. I see what you're saying, and I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Is where we are today equivalent to the British Empire that we went against in the 1700s? Is the military-industrial complex way bigger than the British Empire ever was?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that
So that's why we would maybe not
we just
make
don't,
it, because
we don't in terminology have colonies, but think about Guam, think about the Philippines, think about
Taiwan.
Puerto Rico, Taiwan. Think about all these places that I'm actually reading a lot of American history, and I'm like the Spanish-American War, and I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know we did all that.
The Vietnam War. Jeez.
Vietnam.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, and this is all for control. Like, think about it though. Like, if everybody fought, and guys, let me put this out there. I'm not actually saying let's do something.
Right.
I'm
Against
just
the government.
Against
J6.
the government.
These are theories.
I'm saying theoretically, but we were not able to put down the Taliban. We were not able to put down or take over Afghanistan.
okay, come on.
Okay,
I'm with you.
and nobody's been able to conquer those areas. Why? Because they fight in cells and they hide. And
It's like Hydra.
Yeah, and
you can't kill an idea.
It's more. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's
It's more guerrilla warfare and
Yes.
idea warfare concepts.
Yes.
And so that's if you win the war on the minds of the people, then you win.
Yes, then you win.
It's a psychological
Psyop.
warfare. Yeah, it's a psyop. And the
Yeah.
reason why I say that, because I listened to several different podcasts, ex FBI, CIA agents talking about how they were in this field. There was this profession. This was their profession. They're retired now, and these are the things they were training. They were gaining knowledge, and they've been doing it for 30 years.
Mhm.
And that's why I say because they asked them straight up, what will take down the United States if it's not one internal, or if it isn't a psyop? And one of these CIA agents said it has to be an EMP if we're going that way, because it just has to be. There's no other way to take down the United States. And
That would take out everything you need,
Yeah.
communication-wise.
Your vehicles.
Everything.
You wouldn't be able to drive.
Everything.
I mean, think about even so I go in Kansas City, I go across the Missouri River like daily, right? And I keep thinking about there's like if you go through downtown, there's like 3 bridges that go across the Missouri River. And there's a few that go across the Kaw River Valley and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, like if you think about like rivers were huge, like creeks were huge in like you're talking about like the Battle of Guadalcanal and stuff like that. Some of these rivers that were going on these islands, they were like, how do we get across this? And then these troops were trying to get across this to go engage the enemy across this little creek. And it might not have been little, but like a soldier carrying 50 pounds of equipment cannot wade across that because they get taken away by the, water's very powerful. But, and I'm just thinking about, man, if these bridges weren't here, my job north of the river would just be, I'd have to go 60 miles out of the way to go get there.
Thank you, CBs.
Yeah, that's why.
Shout out to CBs.
That's why in World War I and World War II,
Construction Battalion.
Oh yeah,
They built all the bridges.
Yeah, so that's why in World War I and World War II, the Hitler's Nazis, their main goal was to take out the infrastructure of the countries, and once that happened, it allowed them to move in, and also that military not to be able to be mobilized. That same. I mean, in Fury. Did you guys watch that movie with Fury? Brad Pitt? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic, wonderful movie.
I
But
need to go back and revisit that.
But yeah, and I think we're getting to the point right now where that wouldn't matter anyway. I'm telling you, drones. They're making now robots that I think that are going to be able to be militarized.
Oh, the Terminator.
Right. So they already have have you seen these war dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, they already have those things.
Yeah.
That are just robots on the ground.
You sure that's not AI?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
I have seen the little track thing that goes in and launches like a wave of drones.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is the Boston company that's AI tech?
Boston Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics.
They have one.
No, so that documentary I was talking about, it goes into detail what Boston Dynamics and other company or these other organizations are creating. And this was like 3 years ago that I watched it. And these drone swarms, I mean,
have they ever watched the Terminator?
Right, I think that's where they're basing it on.
They need.
They're like, somebody wrote the Terminator. Hey, let's do that.
great.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
You know
And
what?
then
I
basically-
want a post-apocalyptic
The machines will get
United
so
States.
smart they will figure out how to time travel.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Naked.
Right, because you can't go through.
Yeah. But the military
Wait
industrial
a minute.
complex is
You
crazy.
would think that they would get so far in the future, like, hey, you know what? We can actually send metal back now.
Well,
We don't have
did.
to,
They did.
what I'm saying, but it had to be covered with bio.
Oh,
That's why you couldn't bring a weapon.
wow.
Anyway,
Maybe we'll just go to Mars and
hey,
start
what's the Second Amendment say? Something about a militia?
God, guns, and Jesus? No,
Something
I'm just
about
kidding.
a
Well-regulated
tyrannical
militia.
government?
You want me to look it up?
Well, yeah. And then I'll go ahead.
so we can read it.
Look it up while Byron's talking
Yeah,
about the...
well, I was going to say, that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about not being the FBI guys not being able to do. How can we go up against a tyrannical government that is so big that it's a lose-lose?
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Okay. So that hasn't been taken away. But what to your point is that it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine. You can have your guns, but you're not going to take over this tyrannical government if we ever do and put our ideas on you that you don't like.
Correct.
Anyway,
It's past that.
Well, and they don't even right now. Like I was on my way here, driving, and I saw, I'm not on the left side of politics at all, but I did see somebody with a bumper sticker on their, or on their window, that was like liberals, blah blah blah, and they're just like blasting out this thing against liberals, and I'm like, let's come together. Let's not. Yeah. We can disagree. We can disagree, and I've got plenty of liberal friends that I don't agree with you politically, but I think if you get down to the heart of what they're trying to talk about, like that's the Christian mentality, right? It's this love, it's this charity, it's this acceptance. They want to do it on a government level, which somebody on the right would say doesn't work, and always ends up being tyrannical and things like that. But I think the heart of what is being talked about is
I know you guys heard that. I'm sorry.
yeah, I did. Anyway.
No,
but it's this division. It's this division.
I know what you're talking about.
Let's segregate us. They tried to do it with black versus white, and then social media took that down. Yeah. It's guys like this, Nick Harrison, who are like, hey, we rock together. It's everybody is in this.
Yeah, and I will say this, and maybe that sounds like a good topic to go over, that the left and right divide. Yeah. Because I think I hear what you're saying, but I do think there is a line that can't be crossed. And if you cross that line, I'm just like, I don't know. And I'm talking about abortion. So I'll just leave that right there on the floor.
Right, but can you love somebody who got an abortion?
No. I'm talking about somebody that wants to take a human life and they're okay with it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I think you have
That's
to
another-
extend that to other,
you guys got
other
all
areas.
threads
another,
going around.
That's
here.
another
I
show.
know, man. Woo.
That's another show.
I thought we were doing JFK.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We went down the rabbit hole, which is cool. 'Cause
listen,
that's
we
what
were
we're
talking about the
military industrial
Yeah,
complex.
so-
this is what we're about.
So when JFK became president, he was completely against war.
Mhm.
Okay,
right.
so that was one of the things that that people did not like about him.
You mean the industrial?
Yeah, because Eisenhower warned about this thing. He was completely against. He agreed that we should never be engaged in a never-ending war. So it was like he was all about, hey, let's get to peace. We don't want to have wars.
Like the war on drugs, the war on terror.
Mm-hmm. Right. So just to let you know how he thought about this, we're going to go to June 10th, 1963, and hear from the man himself.
I realize the pursuit of peace is not as dramatic as the pursuit of war, and frequently the words of the pursuers fall on deaf ears. But we have no more urgent task. Some say that it is useless to speak of peace, or world law, or world disarmament, and that it will be useless until the leaders of the Soviet Union adopt a more enlightened attitude. I hope they do. I believe we can help them do it. But I also believe that we must re-examine our own attitudes as individuals and as a nation, for our attitude is as essential as theirs.
Okay, that's JFK months before he was assassinated. So you could tell he wanted peace. He didn't want never-ending war. So I think that kind of lays a backdrop right before he was assassinated. Now, I'm going to go through a timeline.
Can I?
Yeah.
So I think there was it was a multifaceted reason why he was assassinated. I think that was one of the biggest ones. But also, remember we talked about this.
I like that multifaceted. I like that.
I think I don't know if we said this on our Illuminati podcast episode or if it was on the JFK episode 1. But we talked about he made a speech about a year prior to his assassination about how he wanted to dismantle the
secret societies.
the organizations, these secret societies that are hide in the shadows. And I remember specifically you playing that clip, and I was like, man, that's crazy. And then also what happened, and what he said in this clip. And like I said, I think he was an unorthodox politician. I think he was a Democrat.
Yes, he was.
But that's when they were more of a centrist political party, and I don't think they were as far left as they are now. And just like I don't think the Republicans were the far as right. Like
call them more moderate.
Yeah, more moderate. But I mean, in my opinion, I think he was one of our best presidents of all time. And I just love hearing him talk. The way he speaks, it's so thoughtful, mindful.
Yeah.
And anyway, I've always liked him. I just started reading this book about Abraham Lincoln, which is fantastic, and he was, I think, the best of them all.
The Tyrant?
No, not that. But it's good. Anyway, we're going on a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the American Zionist Council and how that kind of has a backdrop onto what happened with JFK's assassination.
Love where this is going.
Give me a little bit of volume on this.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks for sticking through the break. Today we're talking about JFK. Actually, it's our JFK 2 episode because they just released some JFK files, and I've ran across some information that I never knew about, and I'm going to discuss it here on the podcast with my two fellow weirdos. Oh, by the way, we forgot to say Joey's not here.
I thought he just
Where is Joey?
I thought he just listened.
Why is
did
Joey?
that clip.
Who is Joey?
When is Joey?
Somebody thought Joey was Mike. I don't know.
Yeah, this is JFK episode 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Should
plus
we say that?
some banter of wild things.
Okay, you threw that out there. Okay, so one of the things, here's one of the things that JFK, so we just talked about JFK was against war. Here's another thing that he was opposed to. It was called the American Zionist Council. And they would go on to become what's known today as APAC.
What?
Does anybody know the American Zionist Council, what that means?
Please enlighten me.
Well, it's
Is that
basically
the Project 2025 crap?
I don't know what that means, but
Okay.
it's basically a lobbyist organization group that is Israeli.
Oh,
Well, I'll just say that. Just put that out there. It's Israeli.
And is this?
And you're not
this
supposed
for
to talk.
sure?
Oh, absolutely. I'm about to show you.
Because I didn't know.
I'm about to
not
show
well
you
informed on this.
I'm about to show you the actual. You can look this up. It's factual. It's all evidence.
It's all on the word.
The sources is from Israel. Okay. So we're not supposed to talk about this, but we're
My
going to.
opinions have really changed over the years with Israel.
Okay.
It just
Say what you want.
Okay,
You
here's
attack them.
let's
You're
just
going down.
let's just break this down. Like I said, this is a timeline. It's a kind of a backdrop of what was going on before he got assassinated. You can connect dots if you want. I'm not saying there's any dot to connect. Okay? You connect dots if you want. I'm just giving you the facts. Okay. JFK told the Department of Justice that the American Zionist Council, I'll just call them AZ for short, because I don't want to say that the whole time. So they had to register as a foreign agent under the FARA. FARA is Foreign Agents Registration Act. Have you ever heard of this?
as far as I know.
Basically, it's a U.S. law requiring individuals acting as agents of foreign principals to register with the Department of Justice and disclose their activities and their finances.
Sure, they do.
Okay. So anybody that is a part of, and this is not just, Israel, it's anybody that's connected with a foreign agency. They have to register
Sure, they
with
do.
FARA, okay? With the Department of Justice. Now, what this would do would help U.S. citizens know if we are being influenced by agents of another government. That's what this act is for. So it would help the citizens know, hey, somebody's helping our elections out. Or somebody's swaying lobbying, or somebody's swaying legislation.
Right.
It would help us know. Okay? So where's that money coming from? Kind of thing. So when the American Zionist Council came into fruition in 1949, they were lobbying on behalf of the newly formed foreign state of Israel.
Right.
We all know that happened in 49.
I
Right?
thought it was 47.
Oh, was it? Look that up, Jamie.
It was 47.
For some reason, I thought it was the same.
No, Israel became a nation in 1947.
Okay, so in 49, they were like, hey, Israel just became a state. You guys need to register.
1948. My bad. May
Okay, so a
14,
year
1948.
later, they were lobbying on behalf of the newly formed state of Israel. JFK was informing the new state, hey, you need to register under FARA so we can look at your activities, we can look at your finances, we can see what the money's doing, right? So let's take a look at the lead up to the JFK assassination, okay? And I'm going to put this, you can look this website up. I'm going to put it in the description below. You can click on it. You can read this exact timeline that I'm going to be going through. It's called israellobby.org. Okay. And I got a specific and you can go to israellobby.org /AZCDOJ and read this specific timeline, which I'm about to let you know. Okay.
I'm gonna go there right
It's
now.
a public document, and it comes from Israel. Okay, so I didn't write this, and nobody in our government wrote it. It's from Israel. They wrote this timeline. So let's go October 31st, 1962, 1 year before the JFK assassination. J. Walter Yeagley, he was the assistant attorney general, and he was the director of internal security. He notifies, I didn't know this, RFK. He was the
Robert?
AG.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Wow. Robert.
Yes. Robert F. Kennedy was the attorney
Robert
general.
F. Kennedy.
Isn't that his nephew?
What year is this?
This is 1962. Unless the Kennedys have all the names or all the
Because there's Bobby Kennedy.
Bobby.
And I think Bobby's short for Robert.
Who's? Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you think that's him?
I think
Not-
so.
not
RFK is RFK Jr.
Oh, okay. So that's an R.
Yeah, he's
It's
not-
not
he's
one
not
to the
our-
other.
RFK right now is
Thank you.
RFK Jr., which is Bobby. You could say Bobby Kennedy.
Okay,
Jr.
okay. So he was the attorney general at that time.
His dad.
Oh, was that his dad?
RFK right now. RFK Jr.'s Robert Kennedy Jr. right now. His dad was
Bobby.
Bobby I believe, which was brothers to JFK, which is
John.
Right.
Okay. So that's interesting.
That's correct.
That's interesting.
Robert
So John, his brother, notified Robert, which was the attorney general, that they were soliciting next week the registration of AZC under the FARA. Hey, this is what we're doing. He laid it out for him. Here's what we're doing. November 21st, 1962, 1 month later, the DOJ orders the AZC to register under FARA. December 6th, 1962, the AZC president, Rabbi Irving Miller, here's his response to the DOJ. Mind you, it's been a couple of months. So here's a quote. The request for the registration contained in your letter raises many questions of fact and relationships that must be resolved by us before compliance can be made. Therefore, it is requested that you be good enough to grant us a delay of 120 days.
Okay.
And in my notes, I was like, what the heck does that mean?
That means, hey, give us a minute while we make a response to...
Another important thing happened that day. My dad was born.
Wait, December 6th?
1962.
Oh,
December 7th? 68?
Yeah. Okay.
What's happening? What?
Let's get to the bottom.
Wow. Birthdays?
Birthdays. People were born on days?
Is your dad still with us?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
My dad's dead.
Just saw him yesterday.
Mine too.
My mom's
Dead to me.
Oh,
shoot.
I'm just kidding.
That kind of hurt. Anyway.
I'm just kidding. No, but seriously.
No, but seriously.
So,
just kidding.
So within the 120-day time frame, they decided to incorporate. Here's what AZC did.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to incorporate APAC. So they created a new organization within a 120-day time frame on January 2nd, 1963. A man named Isaiah Kennan incorporated APAC. And then the AZC Council went back to the DOJ and essentially said, you know what? We're not ready actually to register with FARA because we have a new organization called APAC.
Mm.
So they just kept changing the name?
Sounds like I'm trying to do something here. So January 24th, 1963, the DOJ drafted a memo about the meeting that they had on January 23rd, the day before.
Okay.
With the AZC head legal counsel, Simon Rifkin. Rifkin advised his client to discontinue completely the agency relationship and cut off the receipt of any additional funds. Mr. Levine pointed out specifically that the termination of activities on the part of the AZC did not resolve it of its obligation to register.
Got it. So, hey, you did this, but you still got to register, my guy.
Right, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming
I see what
forward.
you're doing.
I see what's going on, but listen, I still need you to register. Yeah. We still need to know what the money's for.
We still need to know your name and have you registered, okay?
So saying that the new corporation should resolve the issue of registering with FARA, basically that's what he's saying. Hey, we got a new corporation. That should take care of this registration thing that you want us to do.
While they slip money on right? Because this isn't really happening.
So
money changes hands.
The DOJ said, no, that actually doesn't resolve the issue, and we're still going to need you to register with FARA.
That's funny. Yeah, but it's not going to happen that way. No.
So, so here's what happened. All of a sudden, articles started popping up in the press, building this pressure campaign against the DOJ to leave APAC alone. So all these articles started. The Wall Street Journal wrote that if the DOJ kept demanding that the AZC, it's hard, have to reveal to the DOJ their expenditures and who was funding them, that Jewish opinion would be bad for the DOJ.
Here we go.
What does that mean? So you wrote articles that the Jewish opinion in America would be bad for the Are you talking about actual Jewish Americans? Their opinions are going to be bad for the DOJ? Is that kind of what I'm reading?
Yeah.
From that article?
Yeah, or people that have influence and power that are Jewish, you know.
Well, if you think we're only 20 years away from World War II, so Jewish opinion was kind of important, I think.
Okay.
Because they were victims of a Holocaust.
Yeah.
So if you think about
So
that,
they're saying if you keep pushing this,
And not even
our opinion's going to be bad about your Department
right,
of Justice.
and then perception from people that aren't Jewish. I mean, that I would assume that would not look. That's not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned that if you keep pushing this matter, then the Jewish Zionist opinion is going to transform America. Okay. So it looks like to me the AZC was lobbying politicians and media to kind of sway the DOJ to leave APAC and AZC alone. They don't need to register. That's what it looked like to me. With
so what does this have to do with JFK?
JFK wanted this.
He wanted them to.
He
register?
wanted them to register, right? So I mean, because this was his DOJ, his Department of Justice, and there's another backdrop of stuff that was going on with him with the Prime Minister of Israel, and I'm about to get into that as well.
Okay.
So the DOJ was not swayed, and they told the AZC, did I say that right? That they would still have to register with FARA, even though this campaign was going on. And it goes back and forth. If you can read the timeline on the website I gave you, it goes back and forth, and things kind of got more aggressive. Then Hoover, which you mentioned earlier, he was the head of the FBI at the time.
Yes.
And he came to JFK and said, hey, do you want me to get involved in this? Do you want us to kind of run this thing since they're not doing kind of what we need them to do? And at this point, they had formed, at this point, when Hoover had mentioned that to JFK, do we need to get involved? They had informed APAC to register within 10 days. Okay. You got 10 days now. So now it's getting to, you got 10 days and they still decline. So after that, the DOJ agrees that we should get the FBI involved.
So why are they? Probably because they're getting funded from some shady sources, and they couldn't clean that money.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. If you want to speculate, yeah, sure.
I mean,
they didn't want to see what kind of money was funding the American Zionist Council, because if that money's coming from places that they didn't want to disclose,
right? This is all.
Then we got a problem.
Speculation. We don't know.
Right.
And we're not anti-Semitic. FYI.
I married a Jewish woman.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Like literal line of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some.
My kids are half Jewish. Not by, like by birth, not by.
Yeah.
You know, they're Christians, but
the lineage.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, don't we all come from lineage?
Aren't we all Jewish?
Anyway.
Okay, so October 11th, 1963, the DOJ demands the AZC to register with FARA within 72 hours.
Oh, now they shrink it down.
Now it's like you got 72 hours. I'm like, is somebody gonna be knocking on the door or something? I don't really know how, if they didn't do it, would they be disbanded?
No, they just, if you don't do it in 72, you have 72 hours, and if you don't, then you won't ever have a chance to register, ever. The end. Yeah,
but then, so they're saying this organization needs to register as a foreign agent. So what if you don't? What are you going to do? Kick them out or disband this organization? We need to know where your finances are coming from. So here, so this is actually after 72 hours, October 17th, 1963. J. Walter Yeagley, again, notes of the DOJ AZC meeting attended by Nicholas Katzenbach. Here's a quote. Judge Rifkin then made a plea for no registration, stating it was the opinion of most of the persons affiliated with the council that such registration would be so publicized by the American Council on Judaism that it would eventually destroy the Zionist movement. He did not believe his clients would file any papers or sign any papers indicating that the organization was an agent of a foreign principal. I told him that any such information or material that is supplied on the basis would be made part of the department's public files available for inspection by the public.
Fair.
Okay.
He definitely got paid off, I bet.
So here's a question.
Answer.
if all you have to do is register with FARA, and all that does is reveal your expenditures, reveal how you're being funded.
Sure.
It would allow people to understand where you're getting money from. Why would they be so opposed to this 1 year later, using lawyers, judges, calling judges to get involved in this, trying to persuade the public with media? Why would it, what would it have revealed if they would have registered? That's the question.
I think I just looked this up, but Rifkin was against it because it was the FARA was supposed to be for foreign, like, enemies registering so that we could tell, like, who's acting against us within our country, not allies.
Was that was that implicit?
What do you mean?
Like, was that
like FARA is all? I think it's any agent.
Yeah,
is a foreign
did they
agent.
create the agency to snuff out any bad foreign actors, or was it like you have it as this agency? Hey, we want anyone that we want to know everything, good, bad, or the ugly. But the intention was to snuff out bad actors,
enemies, right?
Yeah,
well,
I think that's I think
that's
we
right.
wanted to know if we're being influenced somehow by a foreign agent.
Right, but we can't say that directly. So indirectly, we have this agenda to do that.
So Rifkin, well, especially not without declaring certain people enemies that we're like kind of just on the bad level with. However, it seems like Rifkin was appealing to the spirit, not the letter, whereas the governments have to operate by the letter.
Right.
Yeah.
So which leads me to believe that he was paid off, but there's no evidence for that.
Yeah.
So.
Right. That's a good speculation, though. Well, it is publicly known that JFK did not want them to be funded, meaning the AZC, the council, Zionist Council, funded. And here's what was running parallel. Well, I will say this. The question, I don't know the answer to that question I just made, but I know a couple of weeks later, after that meeting, JFK was shot. A couple of weeks later. So here was something running parallel to this whole DOJ FARA registration thing. JFK was on the phone, and this is public record. He was on the phone arguing, screaming, having fights with Prime Minister Ben Gurion of Israel. Like, they couldn't stand each other. Because JFK did not want Israel as a state to become nuclear armed. And you can look this up. JFK was opposed to the Dimson reactor. There was a reactor in Israel. JFK was opposed to it. So, when JFK was shot, all of these problems for Israel and the AZC to register for FARA disappeared. All those problems are gone now.
LBJ, that's who I was trying to come up with.
When JFK no longer is in the picture, all of these problems just disappeared that they've been fighting for a year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. If you want to connect dots, you can. I don't know, but the dots are there.
It was LBJ. Okay? That was the video I saw. That LBJ set up the assassination of JFK.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So he was vice president at the time.
Right. So listen to this. When Lyndon B. Johnson got into the Oval Office, all of the problems for Israel and the AZC were instantly resolved because he reversed course on everything that JFK was doing. Reverse course. So interesting that LBJ essentially employed the exact opposite of the policies of JFK. So just like reversed everything. So this isn't me speculating. You can look this up in an Israeli newspaper. Pepper, can I talk today?
Pepper.
I'll put this in the description. It's called the Haaretz Israeli newspaper. And they wrote that Lyndon Johnson, Israel has no better friend than Lyndon. He was the best friend. Also,
that's a coincidence.
Yeah, and you can look this up. You can read that article. It's online. It's public knowledge. That Israel said that Lyndon B. Johnson was he had no greater friend. I encourage you to go and read this. It's from the Times of Israel. And also, this is interesting. I didn't know this. LBJ lineage descends from Jewish roots. So he's essentially Jewish. Well, I mean, that's not, it's nothing bad about that. I'm just saying it's coincidental. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions left. Like, what was the judge's, other than him being their legal counsel, what was his dog? What was his dog in the fight?
Yeah. So that's kind of my new take that I didn't know about this thing in the background that was going on right before JFK was assassinated. So if you're connecting dots that weren't there were some that I am connecting now that I didn't know about. Maybe the public already knew about all the stuff we're talking about. But we did talk about this in our first episode, which is the CIA, which is the most murderous organization worldwide, even to the U.S. citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we probably covered that extensively in our first episode, so you can go check that out as well. But it was well known that JFK wanted to scatter the CIA to the four corners of the earth. He wanted to disband them and get rid of them. So that was public knowledge as well. So,
not in a good way, like disband them, not
get rid of
scatter them, like make them operate.
Right,
four corners. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
And that's an interesting thing too. Why? Because you want an organization that is in the shadows. If let's just say you have your own government, you want to know what's going around the world, because there are other countries that don't have the best interests of the United States. Or not just the United States. Fill in the blank. You're a country, some other country doesn't want you around or wants your land or whatever. That's just what it's going to happen. That's been like that since the dawn of time, and it's never going to end. Hence why you see Russia invading Ukraine. So, I mean, you want to have that some kind of organization that is a central intelligence that is working behind the scenes. So why would you want to disband that? Maybe reconstruct? I don't know.
That's probably he's like the 60s Trump, drain the swamp kind of thing.
Was it so dysfunctional? So.
Yeah, probably.
And that you have to burn it down.
What was the problem with them registering with FARA? Because just do it. Just do it. If you guys are above board, just do it.
Sounds like you're trying to hide something.
You are hiding something 100%.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, terrorism wasn't a huge deal back then, not like it is today. Was it? I mean, I know Palestine didn't like that we basically carved out a place for Israel.
No, they didn't.
And I'm not sure the history.
And there's a lot of people that don't like that we fund them millions of dollars every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? I forgot.
That's good information, Byron. I did not know any of that.
And, I didn't either. So
that's good to know. You did brought something new to us and also to the world.
Yeah. So make up your own decision. Connect the dots. If the dots are there to connect those dots if you want.
Mm-hmm. Also, are we stopped? Did we stop the karaoke? Where are we at with that?
I mean, do you want to bring it back?
I thought we decided we were going to.
I think we were going to bring it back. Yeah. Somebody said they wanted it.
Well, we'll have to decide what we're going to do.
They want the Gallagher. Give them to them.
Next week, we'll do karaoke.
This week's question of the week: what do conspiracists claim is wrong with the stars and the photos from the Apollo landing? Is it A, the constellations are in the wrong place? B, the stars are too bright? C, there are no stars? And D, you can see the strings hanging the stars from the ceiling of the studio. I'm going to go with D.
Stanley Kubrick.
That's your question of the week. Make sure you go and vote for that. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the episode, but that is our question of the week. It is the poll question of the week. It's just for fun, something you can interact with us. Leave a comment also. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Rumble channel. And then leave a comment so that the algorithm will serve this content up to other people. Also, if you have not followed us on Spotify, go do that as well. All the links are in our description right below this episode. We also have a Discord you can jump into and chat with everybody. There's some fans in the Discord currently. You can chat with them. You can chat with us. And then
let us know what kind of
Curtis,
merch you want to see.
Yeah, the merch. Curtis, go ahead and give us the hat.
Okay, if you want to send me a hat, you can send it to P.O. Box 68, Peculiar, Missouri, 64078. I am thinking about getting some hats with Let's Get to the Bottom of That embroidered. If that's something that you're interested in, I'll come up with, if you send me a hat, maybe I'll send you a hat. But if I get like hundreds of hats, then...
That's a good idea.
I don't know if I could afford that. But you guys let me know what you think.
And you gave the address out already? Oh,
P.O. Box 68, Peculiar, Missouri, 64078.
Send us a hat. Curtis will wear it.
Thank you,
Jason,
guys.
you got any final thoughts?
Man, no, I don't.
Okay. Well, I don't either. That's JFK too. Hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week. You might hear Jason say this.
I like turtles.
Okay, you've already said that though.